All right, thank you, Adam. We are in chilly Logan, Utah, in the Mountain West for a very large game. 1,600 fans inside to watch Colorado State and Utah State. They met just 48 hours ago, and Utah State took down the Rams. Hi, everybody. I'm Rich Waltz, along with a distance Richie Schuler. This is a game that will have implications, and I know it's January, but come March, they're going to look at this game.
Yeah, Colorado State is a terrific team, but they got to win here to get off that NCAA tournament talk bubble. Utah State is an outstanding team, and they got to win here to keep pace with Boise State to stay undefeated in conference play.
Now, you can see the top of the conference is very good. Lineups. Colorado State, David Roddy is excellent, and everybody knows about Neemias Queta, but Brock Miller was terrific in their first meeting.
I tell you what, they better find him in transition, because last game he was 6 of 10 from behind the arc. He's a quick release player, and when he gets hot, he is hot.
Another matchup to look at. Isaiah Stevens is lightning quick and a good scorer for Colorado State. But in game one, Marco Anthony defended him. Why did that give Stevens so many problems?
Well, Anthony's about 5 inches and about 45 pounds heavier than Isaiah Stevens. He's a terrific defender. Anthony, a player with the ball now, can guard just about every position on the floor.
This is Queta backing in. He is a handful for everybody that has faced him. Queta, 18 and 12 in the first game, and he has the first bucket here tonight.
You can see right now what Utah State wants to do early on. They go right into Queta, a little bit of a double team right there, but he's too tall, too strong, and too big, and too good of a finisher for Colorado State's double team.
Queta, a junior out of Portugal, drops in a free throw. Fast start. That's something Nico Medved, the head coach at Colorado State, has told us. They have to get off to a fast start. They were off to a slow start, and an offensive foul on David Roddy. And the keys to the game brought to you by Lincoln.
Well, effectiveness of Queta, that's huge. He controls both sides of the floor, the offensive side and the defensive side, and physicality is huge, not just scoring in the paint, not just posting up, but rebounding as well, and downtown shooting is massive in this game. Utah State was phenomenal, over 50% from three. Colorado State struggled, just about 32-33% from behind the arc 2 nights ago.
Miller trying to get loose, Queta off balance. Miller 6 of 10 from 3 on Tuesday night. Anthony in tight, and it's stolen by Moores, who gives it to Bean, who finishes with 2 hands. And this is exactly what Colorado State wanted to avoid. It happened on Tuesday, an avalanche of points and a double-digit deficit, and they never recovered.
It's going to be important for Colorado State defensively to do everything they can to stop Utah State from scoring in the paint. But on the offensive side, they've got to find ways to score down inside. This Utah State team is huge down in the interior.
Thistlewood gets in tight. He had 14 points on Tuesday night, so Colorado State is on the board. Utah State's 12 and 3. They've won 11 straight. Colorado State is an improving team. Made big strides last year and huge jump this year. Miller's first launch. Roddy with a rebound.
This Colorado State team is a squad that shoots nearly 40% from 3 as a team. Left a lot of open shots not made in the last game. Got to shake free tonight.
And Moores gets up and under and avoids Queta. If they can get points in the low blocks, that would be a huge plus. That's a turnover. Wooster goes down. Stevens on the defense there. And a turnover on Utah State. There's Nico Medved, and the storyline here also is that Nico Medved and Craig Smith are very good friends. They were both on the staff at Colorado State when Tim Miles was there many years ago, and here they are in the Mountain West. Smith and Utah State tournament team the last 2 years. Roddy, Queta with the block. That happened a lot on Tuesday.
So much length. This Utah State team is just, they're so long and athletic down inside.
Wooster misses. Let's see if Moore and Colorado State can stir the tempo up here. Stevens. Utah State's defense is terrific, and what makes it great is Queta in the middle. Because if you get to the middle, you still have to deal with him. a running hook, and you don't expect that from a 5'10" guard.
You know, I got to give a lot of credit to Colorado State. They have scored in the paint and the post, and now more drives to the basket. They've got to do everything they can to try to keep Keita away from the basket. That might be a ball screen, but he's such an influencer down there and blocking shots and taking away good looks.
Miller for 3. 42% from distance this year.
Boy, I tell you, if Miller gets hot like he did last game, 6 of 10 from behind the arc, it is very difficult to stop this Utah State squad.
There's Craig Smith. He just took Marco Anthony out, who is limping on his way down the bench. Smith, all he's done in 2 years, 28-7, 26-8, won both Mountain West tournament championships. So you can count them as an NCAA tournament team from last year, even though there was no tournament,
right,
because they qualified for it by beating San Diego State on an epic shot by Sam Merrill. That's a 3, and that's important for Colorado State. Isaiah Stevens. Much better rhythm offensively for the Rams than Tuesday night's start.
So much of it is confidence. Look, they're going right down into the big man.
And Keita, impossible to stop when he's in that tight. He had 18 points, 12 rebounds, 3 blocks on Tuesday nights.
So you're going to see Colorado State. They like to run a lot of stuff out of the high post. And right now, this is called a floppy action right here, where they move Isaiah Stevens to the block. Nice pass down inside, but it gives him options on which side he wants to go off of screens.
Bean. Stephen Ashworth in the ball game, and Ashworth, the freshman point guard with the ball now, has been a terrific find for Craig Smith. There's Keita. Oh man, he was not healthy last year. He played in just 20 games, somewhat of a shadow of himself. Now he can go side to side, he can go vertical.
When he came back in early January last year, he wasn't the same player. He was a bit out of shape. Now you see his footwork, his versatility on both ends of the floor. I mean, he is a surefire NBA prospect.
3-point Utah State lead. Good start for both teams. And of course, this is a rematch. Format in the Mountain West is back-to-back games. So they played on Tuesday, and here they are on a Thursday, and here's Miller again drilling a 3.
This is what makes Utah State so good. Neemias Queta gets double-teamed, but he's such a terrific passer out of the post. He sees an open Brock Miller.
Wooster. Timeout needed, timeout taken. Utah State right now has won 11 straight. They are 9-0 in the Mountain West.
Queta, so difficult to stop. Look at that, 2 shot fakes. Use the pivot foot. The big fella showing the versatility, and then Brock Miller knocking down the opposite corner 3-point shot.
Utah State, an 8-point lead over Colorado State early here in the Mountain West. Such a unique player in Neemias Queta. He leads his team in every category except assists. He's second in assists.
And he was leading in assists for such a long time until as of late. He is everything for this team. That's why one of the keys to the game is the effectiveness of Queta for both teams. That is huge. Look, the defensive anchor, the help side rotation, the block shot, and then on the other side, you're seeing his versatility. Look, little dipsy-do, using that pivot foot. He is so talented, and he has improved every year, and now his 3rd season at Utah State.
Richie Schuler, this is a 9-0 run for Utah State. Colorado State to their bench. John Tonje has checked in, as well as Isaiah Rivera and Deshaun Thomas. Stevens, Ashworth altered the shot. And here come the Aggies. Ashworth, good shooter, excellent passer, and a foul as Thomas got in on Queta.
Well, Ashworth does a good job of reading the defense. Can he turn the corner and get to the basket? If not, he's got a rolling Queta, who we've seen. He's 3 of 3 from the field right now. We've seen his footwork in that paint. The good thing about Queta, too, is sometimes he can pop and knock down a 17 or 18-foot shot as well.
Not many mid-majors lose an NBA draft pick and get better, but it feels like Utah State has. And part of that is Queta being healthier. It's also the emergence of Brock Miller. It's the arrival of Stephen Ashworth and Raleigh Wooster, and the Virginia transfer, Marco Anthony. They're much more balanced this year.
They are completely balanced. I mean, there's only 3 times this season where a player has scored 20 points or more for Utah State, and they're so dominant at the same time.
Thomas picks for more. He's a good three-point shooter. Rivera off a screen. Bairstow's in. He's got that assignment. Shot clock down. Double team comes. There's Thomas's three. Got it. I told you, he's a good one from distance. He is now 9 of 15 from beyond the arc this year.
And see, that was created because they used a ball screen and they took Keita off the shooter. They just passed it back to him, and he got the shot off before Keita recovered.
This is Raleigh Wooster, a hard-nosed guard out of Missoula, Montana. No whistle. Tanjay on the break, and that was a mess. Amazed he wasn't called for traveling. Thomas, he'll take another three, and he'll hit another three. How about that off the bench from a 6'9" sophomore out of Durham, North Carolina?
Can you believe 6'9"? He's 10 of 16 from behind the arc this season. That's incredible. He's a terrific pick and pop guy.
Moore gets a hand on it.
Deshaun Thomas, he just knocked down a three a moment ago, and his defender, Keita, is down inside again, helping off the drive, so he's not there to recover in time, and Thomas is left wide open for a three-point shot straight onto the basket.
And Richie, that's the key. You said it there. It's Keita's man, so if he continues to stay hot out there, Keita's going to have to come away from the basket.
And that's what we talked about earlier. Colorado State needs to try to use some ball screens to get Keita away from the basket and maybe free up some shooters.
Anderson from Ashworth. Tanjay got a piece of that shot. Nice run here by Colorado State to cut the lead to 4. A little pocket pass there. Look at Thomas from Stevens.
And he put about 15 pounds of muscle on in the offseason, and now 8 straight points for the young man of Colorado State.
It's a good answer and a much needed answer for what is still a pretty young Colorado State team. Bairstow can shoot it. Anderson, or rather Anthony, has the rebound. Anderson keeps it alive. This is a great offensive rebounding team. And he finishes.
Wow. And you're seeing this Utah State team, they get a lot of offensive rebounds, and one of the reasons they do is because they get the defense out of position. They make them rotate, and now when the shot goes up, not everybody's getting blocked out, and they get second chance opportunities.
Look how far Keita came out against Thomas. Off the screen, Thomas again. Thomas again.
It's 11 straight points for Thomas, and they're purposely running him off ball screen, so Keita goes and hedges hard and leaves Thomas wide open on the pick and pop.
Thomas, remember, picked up a foul against Keita. Ashworth rotates. Anderson can shoot the three himself, and he misses the corner three. Colorado State has the ball and a chance to take the lead. Good tempo, good pace to this game. And obviously a big one in the Mountain West. Tanjay, who hit an enormous three in that big comeback at San Diego State. So they got some excellent three-point shooters on this roster. Moore streaking by, leading with the left hand.
That's awesome. I mean, they're getting ball reversals. They're loosening up the defense. And when you do that, defense is in rotation, and oftentimes you get to drive those gaps for shots.
You feel like the speed right now, Colorado State, is coming into play, and that was not a factor on Tuesday night. Keita cleans it. Bairstow thinking three. Anderson spinning, forcing, and it's a foul on Keita over the back of Kendall Moore. And the emotion right now on the Colorado State bench is immense. Nice answer by the Rams. A 1-point lead on the road. Colorado State back with a 1-point lead, 22-21 over Utah State. How about off the bench, Deshaun Thomas?
He's doing terrific, and he's taking advantage of the fact that he's catching Keita down inside, leaving him wide open for shots. They're a little mid-range, but he did hit 3 threes, 2 at least threes were off of ball screens where Keita was stuck helping on the driver and left him wide open on the pick and pop.
So it feels like what you're saying is part of this strategy for Colorado State is occupy Keita.
Yeah.
Make him chase you around a little bit.
Whoever Keita is guarding, set a ball screen with, because he's going to end up helping on the drive, Keita that is, and it should leave the guy popping wide open for a shot, the guy who screened.
Keita on the bench for the first time here. Roddy is back in for Colorado State. They leave Thomas again, and this one is his first miss. So he's 4 of 5. Anthony the rebound, and here comes Utah State. Bairstow, you got Trevin Dorius in the game with Anderson, Anthony, and Ashworth. And a foul on the baseline. And that's on P.J. Bird, who's off the bench for Nico Medved and the Rams. Rams were 20-12 last year. That was a big step forward. Of course, Utah State beat San Diego State in the championship game of the Mountain West tournament and won 26 games, and obviously was headed to March when March never arrived. Dorius backing in, doubled. That's a nice dive by Stevens to disrupt.
Well, see, this is when Colorado State really has to take advantage. Keita's out of the game. He controls both ends of the floor. Where is Utah State going to get their scoring? Are they going to get interior scoring? And on the other side, can Colorado State score in the interior without Keita's big, long arms blocking shots?
Anthony diving in. Dorius lost the ball. Scramble for it. Still loose. And a timeout called, I believe. No, held ball before the timeout. So a held ball before the timeout was called. Utah State was trying to call the timeout. And the possession arrow goes to Colorado State.
But look at the scrum. You appreciate the urgency. You got at least 3 bodies on the floor trying to get that basketball.
As disappointing as the loss was for Colorado State on Tuesday, what they have here tonight is an enormous opportunity, a quad 1 win, because in the net, Utah State is below 50. Tom J from the corner, and Colorado State stretches their lead to 4. So you knock off Utah State here and now, that's going to be a resume builder for Colorado State. Stevens driving, kicking. This is Bird's 3. And he missed it. Roddy in mortal combat with Anthony down low. And it's going to be a Utah State ball. Okay, now what are the net ratings? They are the numbers that most mirror the selection committee's criteria. And the Mountain West has got 4 teams in the top 63. Boise State a winner last night. They jumped from 16 to 14. Utah State at 41. San Diego State 48. But Richie, I think this year, and even the tournament selection chair has talked about it, for mid-major teams, there has to be a little more eye test than raw numbers, because everybody as a mid-major lost their non-conference schedule and lost their opportunities against major teams, which are resume builders.
Right. So you've got to beat the best teams in your conference.
Yes. And you've got to have a little bit of leeway if you didn't get a chance to beat the Pac-12 or the Big 12 or those teams. Stevens off the miss.
Since Keita's gone out of the game, they haven't scored a field goal yet.
Stevens rising. This is the shot. Roddy down low. He's fouled. I think Keita disrupted Roddy more than anybody on Tuesday night. Not that Roddy had an awful night. He was 9 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists.
But Roddy, as strong as he is, and he loves to use contact, he's 6'5", and he plays in the post in the Mountain West. And he's playing against teams. I mean, Utah State is ginormous. They're one of the tallest teams in the country year after year.
The beauty of Roddy is he can play 1 through 5, but he does often end up down below, banging with guys like Bean, and he just picked up a foul.
I mean, he's aggressive, and that's what you want. It's a second foul. Wow. You want your big men to be aggressive. You certainly want them going after offensive rebounds. These are usually fouls coaches can live with, but it's very costly in this game because it's a second. He goes out of the game, and Utah State then brings in Neemias Keita back in.
8.5 minutes left, and you've got Roddy on the bench. But they have done well without him on the floor. We'll see how that works now. Brock Miller's back in. Bean, Keita in the game. Wooster's in. To Bean in traffic. Nice job by James Morris to hold his ground and not foul. Lead is 4. This is Bird. That's a difficult shot, and he makes it with a spin.
They've got to have more of that. And see, again, Keita was not down inside to help take away the drive.
That's a turnover, a rare turnover from Beam, who handles the ball well and distributes as well, even though he's a power forward. Look at the bench points, and of course, Deshaun Thomas has a big chunk of that.
This Colorado State team has to make three-point shots to be competitive in this game. They kind of struggle to score down inside against this squad. Three-point shots are paramount.
Moore's backing in against Keita, and that's going back right at you. Keita's second block. Timeout on the floor.
Well, Colorado State's doing a good job of getting some points in the paint. You see P.J. Bird getting his man off the bounce, finishing strong with the contact.
Millions of kids nationwide are without their normal access to sports and play due to COVID-19. And that's why Fox Sports and Good Sports are restoring play for kids and the programs that they serve through donations of brand new sports equipment. Text PLAY to the number on your screen to help keep kids in the game. Rich Waltz, Richie Schuler, and a really fun one so far in the Mountain West. Colorado State and Utah State. Second of 2. Utah State won the first. Stevens short, and Bean has the rebound for Utah State. Neemias Queta, his usual menacing self. Anthony doesn't shoot a lot from there, and he misses the 3 out of bounds. That is going to be a Utah State ball.
Yeah, you wish Anthony's a 40% three-point shooter. You wish he wouldn't have hesitated on that shot. He looked like he was waiting just a second, indecisive. Just knock down that three-point shot if you're open.
He was speaking of menaces, he was a menace on the scout team last year.
Yeah.
And his job when in the scout team, he guarded Sam Merrill all year. And they knew what they had when he showed up. He didn't play a lot for Virginia, that national championship team.
Yeah.
But once they got him out on the scout team and running against the ones last year, they knew they had themselves a player. Queta, the double comes, and that's a rare turnover. Colorado State with a 6-point lead, and their defense has been outstanding tonight.
Now, you mentioned Sam Merrill. What a career he had here for 4 years, right? Drafted in the second round, now playing for the Milwaukee Bucks. Word on the street as he's watching the game, so hello to Sam Merrill.
Well, he's look, he meant everything to Craig Smith the last 2 years, and of course that incredible moment in Las Vegas in a tie game at the end, a long 3 to win it, send him to the tournament, at least on paper. Tanjay, shot clock down. Stevens, his 3. And Queta sucks up his 4th rebound.
It's a good-looking three-point shot, just didn't drop. Nobody really contested it.
Wooster down the lane. And he just missed. Both these teams are good shooting teams. Colorado State, 47% from the field and almost 40% from distance.
Yeah.
That's good. Moore, that's a moon ball to get over Miller.
And see, you know, they were 9 of 27 from 3. That's 33% in their last game. And they're so successful when they're knocking down three-point shots. It's very hard against these long arms.
Ashworth. That breaks a drought for Utah State. The lead is 4. Niko Medved told us they do a lot of shooting drills, more so than most teams around the country. So they shoot a lot and with a purpose in practice and even before and after practice. Moore's got turned around. They have 2 buckets from Moore's in tight, and that's a bonus.
Oh, he has a quick release down inside. I like how he got Queta off his feet, got him to step back a little bit. That gave him a little space to knock down that little shot.
Immediate double and another turnover by Utah State. It's a 6-point game with 5 minutes left, first half.
This is how effective Keita is as a passer. He's always looking opposite. Oftentimes that leads to a three-point shot on the wing or maybe a quick pass to the corner. But you see right there, Ashworth's so good. He sees the defense come at him. It's a little shot fake right there. One dribble, knock down that mid-range shot for the baseline.
All right, keep this in mind now as David Roddy is back in the game for Colorado State with 2 fouls. And he comes in with 5 minutes left in this first half. But his ball club has themselves a 6-point lead on the road in a tough environment. This is Roddy who lost it.
That's unfortunate because he was open. And they're running these floppy screens. A single screen on one side, a double on the other. Isaiah Stevens is just going round and round, figure eights, trying to figure out where to go, and it leaves other teammates open.
All right, define floppy screen for those that don't have a basketball glossary on their...
Well, it'd be a single screen on one side, and then you have an option of going off 2 screens on the other side. And Isaiah Stevens gets his head under the basket. He can choose which side he wants to go on. It's like a merry-go-round. He can do a figure eight, keep using those screens, but it doesn't just get him open. It loosens up other players, and Roddy was open there. It was just a missed pass.
I'd rather run into a floppy screen than a hard one, and that's a 3 and a foul, and 3 free throws coming for Brock Miller.
It's more of a floppy action involving screens.
You know, the other thing about in losing Sam Merrill, the guy at the line had to really stand up because Miller was more of a 3-point specialist with Abel Porter at the point and Merrill, you know, as the do-all, be-all, everything for him.
Right.
And this year, you know, he knew it. And in the offseason, he really worked on footwork, defensive footwork, screening, picking, rolling, handling the basketball, and he is more of a complete player. Craig Smith said he's gone from floor spacer to complete player.
Even on the defensive end. And the thing is, like, 36% from 3 his freshman year. 30% a year ago. He's always been a volume 3-point shooter. Gets a lot of shots up. This season, he's 42% from behind the arc. Playing with a lot of confidence. 4th year in the program, redshirted his first year.
Utah State back within 4. Roddy battling with Bean. Finds Thistlewood, and when you find Thistlewood for an open 3, that's bad news for the defense.
Thistle good, right?
When he gets hot, he gets hot. Bean misses. Bean's had a tough time from 3 this year. Thomas triggers. And Colorado State has the ball and the lead as we approach 3.5 minutes left. Stevens walked.
Colorado State has shot the ball so well. Again, sucking the defense in. Now it's Roddy to the outside. Thistlewood for 3 in the opposite corner.
The NFL playoffs continue on Sunday. NFC Championship presented by TurboTax Live. Tom Brady and the Bucs, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. And the pregame coverage starts at 1 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. 1,600 fans in the house here. That's all they can have, distanced and masked. And they're watching a really good game so far. Utah State on Tuesday night beat Colorado State by 19, but that's not happening right now. Colorado State has the lead. They would love to take that lead in at halftime. They've done it from distance. They've shot it well from 3-point. Rich Waltz along with Richie Schuler and a 7-point Ram lead. Ashworth, Anthony, Miller, Anderson, Keita for Utah State. Ashworth off a screen. That was nifty. Oh, that's Roddy, and that's Roddy's 3rd foul. And let's hope he's okay.
It's a tough landing.
Utah State is lobbying for a goaltend.
Look at this right here. Roddy, you're going to see him come on the right side of your screen. He's help side rotating. It looked like he blocked the shot with 2 hands. They called the foul on Roddy?
Yes, that's his 3rd.
He's staying in the game.
No, Tanjay's going to come get him. And I don't think they're going to get the goaltend call they were after. But getting 3 fouls on Roddy is a nice consolation.
Oh, that's huge for Utah State. Roddy is so effective. Wow.
Well, they Did they count the bucket?
Our viewers at home could probably tell us. I believe they did.
All right. They did count the basket. All right. Moore busts in and scores and finishes with the right hand.
Both Moore and Stevens are so dynamic. They're able to find those little gaps, and they get by their defenders to score down inside. I love how quick and fast they are off the bounce.
Queta. Anthony bumps Tanjay with the body. So the three-point play by Ashworth brought Utah State closer. A 6-point lead here, 8 team foul. Anthony gets 1 and 1. You know, Craig Smith, before he arrived here, had a really nice run at South Dakota. 4 years there, won the 2017 regular season title, was the Summit League Coach of the Year. 2 guys he was recruiting. One was Marco Anthony, and the other, well, Anthony in particular.
Yeah.
And Anthony went to Virginia and ended up back here. That's a nifty move with the right hand.
On cue, too, because Marco Anthony, and recruiting is all about relationships. Doesn't work out at the first school. You'll see that oftentimes end up at the next school.
More into the corner. Rotation to Stevens. Tanjay likes that corner, but airballs it. And here comes Utah State down 3. Miller thought about the 3.
That's good defense by Colorado State. You have to find Miller in transition because he will launch. But look at that.
In the corner. And Tanjay has the rebound. That's about as open as you can get. 2 minutes left. First half. Thomas has hit 3 threes in this game. There's the pick, but no pop.
Need a ball screen or something here.
Tanjay, and he's fouled. Anderson had his hands on it. Just 3 as far as team fouls, so a long way from getting to the free throw line, and Colorado State probably won't get there with just a $1:46 left in this first half.
They get 20 seconds on the shot clock. It was down to 7. So now they can work a little more clock here.
Stevens, Thomas, and Queta is right there on the spot. Anderson fouled, and he scores.
Only 1,600 fans, but they sound terrific, don't they? What a pump fake, and that's what got Thistlewood in the air. It's Anderson with the presence of mind to know the defense is there. A little shot fake. Get your defender in the air and get you an and one.
Shooting 1.
Anderson saw a lot of quality minutes last year when Queta was banged up. And so he adds a lot of experience off the bench, and he's a versatile player as well. Lead down to a point. Stevens against Anthony, and he was fouled. Now Queta was reaching, Anthony was bodying, and it's Anthony.
I mean, Stevens has no fear. I mean, Marco Anthony is, what, 6'5"? Queta's 7 foot, and he's going to go down there and split traffic. I love that. Fearless.
Well, some coaches will say if you've got Queta in the middle and as good a shot blocker as he is, that at some point you have to go right at him, right?
When you're playing against great shot blockers, I used to teach my players, go into their chest. Go into their chest, because oftentimes they'll call the foul on the shot blocker. Now, if you're a really good post defender, you'll use your verticality. You'll jump straight up with both hands in the air. You're perpendicular to the floor, parallel to the basket, and it's a good defensive play. But not all of them are disciplined to do that.
Anthony just dropped it, and they'll say Tanjay went off Tanjay, but no help from the officials.
We've seen a lot of passion from the Colorado State bench.
And I think the officials may, I don't think they can. I think the official came over more for a clock issue than. Yeah, they reset shot clock at 18 seconds. A steal and a foul, and a smart foul. Remember, they only had 3 team fouls, and Miller disrupted what could have been a breakaway layup.
This Utah State squad, they're a high IQ group. They're older, they're veterans, right? They know they only have 3 fouls, and Steele goes right to Moore. I mean, he's like a cornerback, and there's the foul. Because otherwise, Moore was off to the races. It was going to be him versus Keita. He might have beat Keita down the floor.
And the shot clock, I think they had reset the shot clock at 20 after the foul, and there should be more time on the shot clock. Shot clock resets at 20 after a missed shot. And they do add time on the shot clock to 26.
And this is a big possession for Colorado State. Just psychologically, going into the half with a lead helps you so much in the second half. They can extend that lead here.
Thistlewood, a 3. Missed it. That went down and out. Ashworth in transition. Crashes and burns, and it's going to be a held ball. I believe 2 officials on site. Either a foul or a held ball. One official has held ball, one has a foul.
Well, on the opposite side, you had 2 Utah State players trying to call a timeout. I could see the foul there, though. Ashworth gets his feet tangled up with Kendall Moore, falls to the ground. And I think they called it.
Well, they called the foul, but not on the trip. They called the foul on the reach on the ground, which it may be a break for Utah State. And Ashworth gets to the line. You know, if Sam Merrill had a little brother, this is what it would look like. This is, you know what I mean? A guy who could shoot the 3, a guy that does everything well.
Right.
And, you know, Merrill, a terrific career here. And Ashworth is just starting as a freshman. He's going to be really, really good.
Well, this isn't so bad for Utah State. They're going to get the ball back here as long as they rebound on the defensive end. They should get the last shot. Look for a ball screen here when the shot clock gets to about 10.
Stevens waits. Here comes the screen. Stevens goes hard and draws contact and gets free throws.
Good move by Colorado State. Look who set that screen. Deshaun Thomas. Why? Because if they've got a help on Isaiah Stevens here, look, see how Keita's down inside? He could have reverse pivot right there, and you have Deshaun Thomas, who, if he waited at the top of the key, might have had another wide-open three-point shot.
Stevens, who missed a free throw, is a very good free throw shooter. He is 37 of 41. Hits that. Richie, the speed of the backcourt for Colorado State seems to be more of a factor tonight than it was Tuesday night. Why is that?
They're playing comfortable. They're playing confident. And I tell you, Coach Nico Medved from Colorado State has been talking to his players like, look, guys, everybody talks about how we're a team on the rise. We got to shed that mentality. No more team on the rise mentality. We're here. Okay, we lost the previous game, and they're just going out here. I mean, they seem to be playing incredibly confident on the offensive end of the floor, driving in those gaps and using their speed and quickness.
2 points off the free throws from Isaiah Stevens. 10 seconds left. First half, Ashworth driving, baseline, ball out of bounds. Who'd it touch? Officials look at each other, and it was tipped. Last touch by Colorado State. 5 seconds left. And this is a difficult place to inbound.
Get it to Keita. You can lob it up there.
Keita back to Ashworth for 3. No. And Colorado State, who lost by 19 on Tuesday night, have come out here in the first half in a difficult environment against one of the best teams, not only in the Mountain West, but also in the West. And it's the Rams who have a halftime lead. Rob Stone, Casey Jacobson, Donnie Marshall in our LA studios are coming up. All the highlights from tonight. 2-point Ram lead at the half.